Hey guys, hey, Bobby Bryant here, CEO of hōmhub and founder. I wanted to do a part two video of, I guess you could say, my little rant yesterday about um, really the real problem behind disrupting real estate, right? And I broke it down into a few categories. The industry itself, you start talking about technology, and then you really start talking about the psychology of the thing, if you will. First, guys, I gotta say, I can't remember who quoted this statement. And in a lot of ways, it's true. Uh, and I think it was in a movie, and the guy who felt like just technology was the be all, and I'm talking about in regards to real estate, right? And it's not the be all. It's just not. It's the thing that gets you to the thing, right? And that's how we have to view it. And because there's just a human element to it. A large part of it can be done online. Do not misunderstand me. A large part of this can be done online by people who are savvy enough and intuitive enough and skillful enough with technology and information. They have the experience. They've bought and sold a few properties. They just will not need a realtor like others. And I'm not going to say more or less, but they just won't. They understand the process. They probably buy homes more frequently than a person who traditionally lives in a house every 8 to 12 years, average of 10. And they just don't need a realtor the same way. But with all that said, I want to talk about another element. The reason why prop tech companies have historically struggled with disrupting the real estate industry. And it comes down to two words, simply two words: safety and transparency, right? We could even add another one and say trust. Matter of fact, let's go with three: safety, transparency, and trust. I like that better, right? And what do I mean by that? I want you guys to think of the unicorns out here. And then I also want you to think about some of the prop tech startups, in the last 10, 20 years who've gotten a lot of money, by the way. It baffles me. Baffles me. Anyway, I'm back. And so it's amazing to watch some of these companies and an industry where we talk about relationships and technology, and we really start talking about, the crossroads. And what will it take? Because this is the problem. Like we see this tech company and it pops up and it says, "Oh my gosh, get rid of realtors, heal 6%." Right? It's amazing. Are we really going to lead with price? And then the solution is not right. It's not. It's just the solution is so surface, and yet somebody sits out here and they go cut them a $5-10 million check, and I'm sitting here like, I guarantee you that it's not going to work. I just guarantee you it's not going to work. Now, again, you don't have to listen to me, but I do challenge you. Look at my resume. It's on LinkedIn. It's here. It's on LinkedIn. It's here. Just when you really start talking about understanding this business and all the intricacies, it's so much more than price. It's so much more than getting rid of a realtor. It is. Case in point. So not too long ago, I took my family down to Galveston. I'm in Houston, so that's about a 45-minute drive. I had already booked a beachfront property, 10 steps out the door, and your feet are in the water. Beautiful. It was a beautiful house. Cost almost $4,500 just for a couple of days. A couple of days cost like $4,000. I looked at it. I saw it. I had already uploaded my driver's license. I held it up to the camera because I've been created a profile. You got to do it once, just like I'm sure you guys have who are watching this video. And I trust the platform. I trust it. You also know what made that trust go deeper? About 3 months before that, my girlfriend, I wanted to take us for a weekend getaway, Airbnb. And I booked something in advance in Fredericksburg, real nice place, a lot of woods, beautiful scenery, water. Had these little villas, right? It was gorgeous. But then all of a sudden, I'm noticing on the news that about 20 acres in Fredericksburg was under fire, and it was moving and it wasn't contained. It was just moving, moving, moving. So I'm like, whoa, whoa. And my trip is coming up in like 2 days. I'm like, I'm not trying to drive through uncontained fires and to have a weekend. Hey, boom, contact the host. I said, hey, host, wow, looks like you guys are on fire over here. And I don't want to cancel, but I want to reschedule to kind of see how this thing is going to pan out. Okay, send. The host turns around and says, no refund, no refund policy. I'm like, bro, I didn't cause this. This is a natural disaster. Like, I don't want my money back. I looked at the calendar, your calendar of your property that you're hosting, and it shows that these other days are available. I just want to move over here to let this fire thing or whatever's happening become contained. He said, no. I'm like, okay, okay, okay. Airbnb, PDF, copy, paste. I've attempted to contact the host, and the host is being unrealistic. Look at this attachment over here, because I know you guys are probably in New York or San Francisco somewhere, and I'm just going to show you that this city is blazing, and I don't want to cancel. I just simply want to reschedule. But the host is being unreasonable. So at this point, I don't even want to stay in their property. Give me my money back. The lady politely responded, and she said, give me up to 24 hours. Whatever she did on the back end, 24 hours later. Mr. Bryant, I want to thank you so much for being a loyal customer of Airbnb. I want to let you know that we've actually credited you back, this, that, and the other. I want to thank you so much. Gave me my money back, hit my card. Trust, safety, transparency. See, Airbnb has me for life, although we're kind of creating a similar solution with hōmhub. But yeah, but I'm just saying that right there is the thing. It's just like, wow, now that's what I'm talking about. When we start talking about companies in prop tech, and we start talking about companies trying to crack this mammoth nut, right? And all of the intricacies that appear to be so layered that it at times almost felt like it was impossible to disrupt. But nobody has created something that felt safe, that felt transparent, transparency, that you trust. Therefore, if these new companies have historically failed. And I want you guys to think about that. I want you to think about all the platforms that you trust. Apple is really not the best product. Like, I was with Apple for 13 years. I'm sorry, CEO, Auburn graduate. I'm from Alabama, but roll tight. But the thing is they have a product that their clientele trust, even though they roll out stuff after Android does, right? And they sell it to their cult of customers. But the reality of it is, guys, you trust it. No viruses, right? How many other products, like, and companies that you patronize? Think about the psychology of why you patronize them. Safety, transparency, trust. And until a prop tech company who, by the way, just like I said in the previous video, you should look it up, displays that, like think about what Airbnb does. You have to upload your driver's license. They're not going to give it to the other party, but for the system. I wish you would go into his house and mess it up. I know who you are and where you live, right? And they verify it digitally. So the two ends can trust to transact. I haven't seen a prop tech solution that calls themselves attempting to remove out the realtor, and it just lets two people exchange. And guys, isn't that how fraud and scams? I mean, it becomes a bed of that. Like, how do you mitigate that? How do you mitigate that? Therefore, there's no trust, and therefore, these platforms don't take off. They get all the buzz and they end up on TechCrunch and stuff happens. And I got my money from one of the biggest prop tech founders, funders in the business. But nobody thought about safety, transparency, and trust. That's the core of this thing. Look at Facebook Marketplace, who I actually, by the way, consider, believe it or not, next to Craigslist, like our biggest competitor, because it's peer-to-peer. People don't even know that Facebook Marketplace has more listings of houses and rentals than the MLS. It does. It does. Factually, it does. I'm going to say it again. Facebook Marketplace has more houses posted on it by a peer selling peer-to-peer, renting peer-to-peer, room rentals, houses for sale, investment properties, has more properties on it than the MLS. Validated. But you see on Facebook, they trust it. People trust Facebook. And they trust that they got your profile picture, and then they got the star ratings down here, and they, you're able to be rated every time you sold a house, every time you sold a property. Even when you go sell stuff, pair of shoes, flat screen TV, right? This seller has sold 15 products, 4.5 stars. Facebook is the best prop tech startup that isn't even a startup because of degree of safety, transparency, and trust. And so when you really start talking about that, and I'm reminded by one of my favorite authors, whose name is Simon Sinek. Like, guys, this guy's changed my life and my perspective. I've learned more in the last 24 months than I have in the last 20 years in regards to this business. And Simon Sinek says it best: people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. I am eliminating the realtor, and I am eliminating 6%. That's a what, bro? That's a what? Nobody's buying that. I tell you what, test this. I want you to go out here and start a company that says, I'll sell your house on the MLS for $20, and watch how many people don't line up. Sounds too good to be true. You get what you pay for. And often when it sounds too good to be true, it is. You get what you pay for. What's the catch? Now you got to overcome all of that, because people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So then in our startup, I had to understand that factor, and I had to start saying, you know what? He's right. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. You know what? At Hōmhub, our goal is to make homeownership in America more affordable. That's noble. Okay. Make homeownership affordable. I can get behind that. Now, how you do it? I'm glad you asked. I'm so glad you asked. See, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. What's the cause behind it? See, historically, all of these prop tech companies have popped up, and they're trying to fix one slither of the problem. The problem is this big. It's like this big, but they're trying to fix this, and this is disruptive, and it's going to disrupt and change the real estate industry. This little bitty box, and save, get rid of, don't pay no more. Okay, I have not heard you say anything about safety, transparency, and trust. Nope, I'm not buying. I'll keep going over here and paying this 6%, and I'll keep dealing with the this prehistoric dinosaur over here until somebody creates something that gives me safety, transparency, and trust. And that's how people function and operate. You don't have to take my word for it. I just ask you simply, if you resist, how is that working for you? How's that working for you? And so it's interesting to me to have had to take a step back and look at what I was doing wrong, what we were doing wrong, and because nobody's successfully done it yet. And if we really take inventory of all the investment dollars that have been thrown at it, chunked at it, like it's probably over the last 20 years in the billions. And then, like I said, then you got to see the starter say, I want to thank everybody for this opportunity. I'm saddened to have to tell everybody we have to bankrupt and close the company and raise $50 million, $25 million. But there was a bunch of people sitting behind them ready to cut checks, not realizing. Yeah, the buzzwords, get rid of realtors. The buzzword, kill 6%. Okay. Okay. All right, cool. That's interesting. Because you're talking to what, not why. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. So I had to really take heed to that. And in our entire model had to revolve around why. Do not lead with price. Guys, do not lead with price. Do not lead with price. Lead with why. Make people ask you what. Lead with why. Just like Simon has the book. It made me think about when I just said that. Start with why. He gave you the ingredients. But what is all these disruptive, supposedly disruptive companies come up and they lead with price. They lead with what? They lead with what? This guy wrote a bestseller. Oh, don't do that. Start with why. You know, the golden circles, right? And then you got the easiest thing to hear and understand is the what, but then you get to the why, but the most fuzziest part. I mean, how, what, how, and why is the most fuzziest part. So and most companies talk that way if you haven't seen the golden circle, right? And so people go from what, how, why. Everybody talks that way. So what do? I'm a realtor. Okay, how do you do that? You know, why did you get in real estate? Right? But if you turn that around and go, why, how, what? He gave us the secret, guys. Yet these companies come out with the same stuff. And I got to tell everybody we failed, and all my investors, I'm so thank you for believing in me. Raise millions. Guys, why, how, what? You got to talk different. I get a lot of people ask me about hōmhub and our marketing. I said, I had to go to school. I had to fail. Now I get it. Now I get it. Now I get it. So guys, I just want to talk about safety, transparency, and trust. And if you embody that and inject it into your solution, then it will more than likely alter favorably your results. Guys, Bobby Bryant, CEO and founder of hōmhub. I want to thank you so much for listening.
hōmhub.